Hello, everyone. Today is June 26, 2025, and we are here in our Contemplative Mental Health Leadership Group, and we have our first special guest, Rachel Hiles. Rachel, feel free to take the stage.
All right. Well, first of all, let me say thank you for having me. I'm feeling very honored to be your first special guest. Believe me, I do not take this lightly because I hold a great amount of reverence for the work you guys are doing. As somebody who works with family caregivers every day, I know that mental health is incredibly important. And I just could not be more excited to be here with you today. So, I do have some slides. I'm going to pull them up. Okay. Is it here? Oh. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, again, welcome. Today we are okay, I'm still not on. Can you guys see my slides?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Oh man, my computer's flipping out over here. Okay. All right, here we are. Now I'm ready. Again, welcome. Today we're going to explore what makes your practice truly yours, your brand, and not in a corporate way, but in a personal, human way. Your brand is not just your headshot, or although that helps, or your Psychology Today bio is the emotional experience that clients associate with you. So, we're going to start with a quick warm-up, and the prompt, just to take a moment, and you can even use the worksheet that we sent out. Why did you become a mental health professional? And just one sentence is good, and just take a moment to reflect on that. So, okay. Does anybody want to share?
Yeah, I can share.
Okay.
The reason why I became a mental health therapist is to support family and professional caregivers. Because when I was in the nursing home working in the midnight shift taking care of people, I was burnt out, and there was no concept of mental health support. You just got to do the job, move on to the next situation. Oh, great. The person you cared for months is now dead. Now the bed's empty. Now there's a new person there, and there's no time to process the grief. I want to hold the space to process the grief. I know that's a super long run-on sentence, but we'll just chalk that up to grammar error.
Okay. Thanks for sharing, Andrew. Does anybody else want to say why they became one sentence that says why you became a mental health professional?
I can go. Andrew, I also want to say, oh my God, I felt that so hard working for hospice. But so my reason shortly is I wanted to help women like me figure out their next steps in their lives with intention.
Very good. Very good reason. Anybody else? All right. Well, that's okay. So you can use this time to share outwardly and participate, or just reflect quietly. Either way, whatever works best for you. Okay. So we're going to talk about why. So if you had time to watch the video, Simon Sinek is a very brilliant person. He says people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And your brand starts with that deep why. So why is at the center of your brand? It, like I said, it drives emotional connection and trust. Some examples, I believe no one should feel alone in their pain. I want to help people heal generational trauma. Here's my why. For my business, I'm not a mental health professional, but I want to make design and marketing accessible to change makers. That's my why. So your why. We're gonna pause for 4 minutes, and you can use your worksheet. And then if you want, we can share out afterwards. So these 3 questions, and again, your worksheet has these prompts. Why did I choose this profession? What lights me up about the work? And what change do I want to see in my clients or the world? Gonna start the timer right now. 4 minutes. I could get some music going if you want. let's do it. 4 minutes.
Got a little dance party in our group now. And Rachel, while we're reflecting on this and writing down our answers on our own, could you share us a little bit more about like your experience? Like why did you chose this field of graphics design? Like, could you explain a little bit more about your process?
I can. As I actually, because I want to, walk by talk. I filled in my worksheet. So, why did I launch my business? Because I wanted to help nonprofits and small business achieve marketing results without spending an arm and a leg, and forking over their life savings, and to make design and marketing accessible to people who are working to make change in the world. What keeps me going, even on hard days, is knowing that my work is supporting the good that's happening in the world. Like, even if it's just a small part of the good that's taking place. And then what impact do I hope to make? Well, just, creating a way for people to get the word out about their work. That's really important. And also communicating with the world, because communication is at the heart of everything. It's so important. And the more you can have clear communication with the world, I think the more it's even just talking about clients, the more we have communication, the more at ease everybody is. Everybody can all be on one accord. So that's my why. I'm going to pause the music and turn it over to you guys. So would anybody like to share your why?
I can share mine. I chose this field to help people access their strengths and alleviate their suffering. And did you want me to go through all the questions or just the first one?
You can do whatever pleases you. Whatever makes you comfortable.
Excellent. And yeah, I think the impact is, to help alleviate suffering and help make space for people to talk about all their experiences on all the levels they want to discuss it. And I think what lights me up is, really helping people feel stronger, help them work through the hardest parts of their lives while feeling supported, and helping them move forward in congruence with their values.
Perfect. Anybody else? Alrighty. Well, okay, so that's the why. That's the heart of it. Getting very clear on that really makes everything else tend to fall into place, right? Going back to my slides. So the next is defining our how. Oh, I hate this presenter view. Why does it keep going up on me? Your how is your unique way of helping. This includes your approaches or modality. I know, some people have mentioned, looking into alternative healing, incorporating that into their practice or a certain type of therapy. Also personality and presence and core values. So an example for my example, and then I'm going to have you guys reflect on your how, because this is, how you're making your work happen. Your tone, your vibe, your unique lens. With me and my business, I help my clients through accessible and visually appealing design. What? Oh, the camera is blocking the slide. Okay. Can you see it now? Okay, my example is over here on the right in the yellow circle. So through accessible and visually appealing design, there's no big agency fluff with me because it's a one-woman studio. Nobody's getting passed around. You know exactly who you're dealing with and who you're working with. We have constant communication, and everything is clear as far as expectations go. Which makes it much easier to work with. So, all right. Well, it's your turn to reflect on your how. So, how do you help people? If people have, maybe you have some testimonials already. What are they saying about your presence? So you could choose 2 or 3 words that describe your style. I'll put the music back on, and I'll also pull on my worksheet so that you can see what I. So we'll take just a few minutes to reflect on this while you're working on it. If you got your worksheet in front of you, again, I already told you, this part, but when it comes to my clients and how they describe me or how I think they would describe me, obviously creative comes to mind, direct and straightforward. I am not afraid to hold back with my clients and let them know if I think something is not accessible or it's might not get the results they want. And also, really looking at it as a partnership. That way we are working together to get the results they want. So that's how. If you've already filled out your worksheet, that's cool. Let's talk about, if anybody wants to share, what's one word that describes your therapeutic style. Does anybody want to share?
I'd say mine's pretty laid back, kind of like invitational, I guess. Like I don't push clients to share, and I think that ends up having like a paradoxical effect. Like I don't know if you guys saw that one show. I think it's called I don't know what it's called, but there's like a detective at the White House and she's like asking people questions, but like not really asking questions. I'd like to think that's my style, but I definitely ask people direct questions. But pretty invitational.
That's very good. laid back is I think sometimes when they hear the word laid back, they think, you know, it's something different than what it is. But I love that word because it's more down to earth, it's grounded, and it's relaxed, which is perfect for mental health practice because you don't want somebody who's like you know, or pushy. Nobody feels comfortable with somebody who's pushy. So that's a perfect word. Anybody else?
I was actually just writing down to earth as you said it. So so that was going to be mine is down to earth.
Love that. I mean, it's just so natural. And there's nothing better than, you know, being natural. I mean, I don't want to get all philosophical on you guys, but I love them. Those are perfect words. Does anybody else want to share their word of how? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say warm is one that I hear from a lot of people. I don't know if I would have come up with it myself because it's hard to like reflect that on yourself. But when I hear it from other people, that's a theme that comes up as warm.
Oh, I think that's also very good. You know, warm. What that word reminds me, I don't know if you guys have ever watched Young Sheldon. My grandma was crazy about Young Sheldon, and Young Sheldon is not the most emotionally astute person. However, there were a couple times where he offered somebody a warm beverage, and I think that, you know, that is something very profound to be said. You know, I think warm is a very good word, especially for somebody, you know, it's much easier to be warm than it is to be cold.
Right.
Can I ask, something I'm noticing is a couple of mine feel like they reflect me, but then I can easily be like, well, that's a quality you'd want any therapist to have. Like respectful feels like what? Like I feel like I bring like a deep respect for where people are coming from in their history and context and culture and things like that. But I don't know how to make it sound better.
I think that sounds perfect. And
Okay.
quite frankly, I don't know if that would describe any mental health professional, because one time I was in a therapy session and my therapist fell asleep. And that's not very respectful. So
Yeah.
I think respectful is a very good word, actually. You know, I don't know. I guess, you know, thinking about respect, you know, maybe taking it to a deeper level. And I mean, I love, especially with caregivers, because, well, I always sign my emails with respect and reverence. Reverence is almost like it's very respectful, but it's a deeper level, you know, and it also encompasses what you're talking about. But respect is incredibly important. No relationship will ever succeed based on that. And so I think it's a very good word. And if it's one of your values, then you got to stick to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Well, okay, great. Well, so, you know, that is how. That's the how, your style and your approach. It's gonna really help you when it comes to your messaging, being clear on that. If you're using Chat GPT, you're gonna want to make sure that you're aware of your approach and your style, because otherwise you're gonna just sound like a robot. Anyways, so now let's talk about the what. Of course, people always think this is the most important, but we're obviously figuring out today that, well, of course it's important. It's very important, but if your work is not grounded, if your what is not grounded in why and how you're doing it, it's just something you're doing, and people are not going to buy it. So, alrighty, what are we doing here? Okay, so for my did I put my list on here? No, I did not. How and what? Where's my list? Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't have it. Let me pull up my worksheet actually. What? Okay. Branding and logo design, custom WordPress, Squarespace websites, social media and digital media graphics, photo and video creation, print design, all the way up from little tiny promo items to huge signs, and ongoing support for people who maybe they don't have the budget for a marketing specialist on their staff or whatever. And then part of the what is also being clear on who your ideal client is. And I know you guys have worked on this already in another session, looking at your target audience. Mine is an alliteration. It's on purpose. Okay, I just occurred to me, but I really, back in the day when I launched this business, I was just thinking about, people who cannot afford, a huge marketing budget. They don't have $1 million to get the word out, and also people like having one person that they can go to for everything. So my clients have been small businesses. One of my first clients was an electrician. Startups. I've had a lot of those. I recently just had a death doula in New Jersey. She's launching her business. We set up her website for her. And again, I think I already told you, lots of my clients are community service agencies or part of the government. And really just being part of good that is happening in the world. So that's the what. Now we're going to build our brand statement, right? And if you watch the video, he was talking about Apple and so on and so forth, with their swanky technology and whatnot. So, there's two ways we're going to try, and I'll challenge you to share yours as well. I who with what by how. Or you could do because I believe your why. I help who by how, offering what. So my example is I help change makers unleash their unlimited potential. It's very important. The whole idea of unlimited potential. That's why my business is called Nth Degree. With design and marketing services that are accessible, reliable, and beautiful. Has anybody had a chance to look at the worksheet or think about their brand statement in the terms of why, how, and what, and who? We can give you a few minutes to work on it. I also made one for sandwich. Could pull it up just so you could see more than one example. For us, the who is much, the what and who is much more clear cut. Because we believe that no family caregiver should walk alone. We provide opportunities for family caregivers to find local support and share wisdom through information, education, and caregiver support groups. So we have the why right there. My computer won't catch up on me. Why and how, also who, family caregivers, but how, and what. This is what we're offering. So anybody want to take a stab or share their brand statement? How you help who with what? Or because you believe why, you help who by how, by offering what. Go back to the slide so you can have your example.
Well, I'm going to try to go for it right now. So with example from this group, I help mental health clinicians grow their business and identity through creative leadership groups with special guests. I guess we'll try that out.
Very good. That's not too shabby, but it's very good. You know, you have your why and you have your who and how you do it. It's perfect. It doesn't have to be super long. Just clear cut, you know. Anybody else? Sorry. We're not going for perfection here. It's just about clarity.
I've been working on mine for my new Colorado Therapy Intensives business, and what I have so far is I help leaders heal from trauma more quickly with strategic, intensive, custom therapy.
Oh, that's good. Good one.
Oh, thank you.
But why?
Yeah, so I want to say I might have put this on the website so they can move forward with more clarity and ease.
That's good. I like that. Thank you for sharing, Lauren and Andrew. Anybody else want to take a stab? Okay, great. Well, let's move on. I'm not gonna fool around with the full screen deal. So we're just gonna spend a few moments talking about visuals and voice. So branding isn't just words. You know, we've been talking a lot today. We've been writing things down, but it's also how it feels emotionally. So I would encourage you, again, with the worksheet, to think about words that describe your business and, you know, what would it look like if your business was a photo or a drawing or something like that. So just to give you my example, so I have, again, we're talking about potential. Somebody earlier mentioned, you know, like an abyss or something. I think because of transition, things are looking kind of weird right now. But, you know, I think of, you know, space. When I think about my clients and helping them, I think about, you know, the celestial heavens and, you know, they're just endless. So, look at my clients as having unlimited potential, and that's our goal, is unlocking that through our work together. And also very bold. I, you know, personally am very bold, but you know, my designs are very bold. And I think that's, you know, the feeling that people get. And I think if you're trying to get your point across, it's always a good good idea to be bold. And then I have, just these two images. I've had even, when it comes to my client, just show you some examples. Was like to think about outer space, and it flows through my work. So I have, my thank you cards. Let me go back a little bit. Thanks for working. There's the little guy on the moon. Thanks for working with Nth Degree, and also, this is just a little, like marketing appreciation. Your business means the world to me. It's really, we're talking about the outer space here. So I send that to clients who keep me on board, as a, just a little note. And then I just did this recently. Designing with you is a dream. And again, I got the space theme going, because really just something to be said about outer space. It's just so, well, without getting all weird and Star Trekky on you. So, anyhow, would anybody like to share like a word or words that describe the tone and feeling of your brand? Or maybe I'm gonna even stop my sharing now. And maybe if somebody else wanted to share photos or even just words that describe, that the feeling of your tone or your brand.
Yeah, I'm going to put in the chat the front page of my website, because I really love this image and I feel like it's the vibe.
Twist counseling. I like that. This is very creative.
Thanks. Well, that's the website I did that I am sort of a little bit, I'm trying to have them make the new one look a lot like that, but I'm a little letting go of creative control is more of a struggle than I was aware of that I would have.
Love it. This is awesome.
Yeah, Patty, I think one thing that is special about your brand is you have so much opportunity to use the word twist and plot. Like those two words, you can use books as imagery, libraries as imagery, anything rope, twine, twisted, anything that tornado, even like the imagery that's evoked from plot, twist, therapy is very accessible.
Mm-hmm. You got cinematic, talking about movies, scripts, like all that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, thanks for that feedback. And I back in the day, my original major was advertising and PR, so I tend to really geek out on this stuff, even though that was a lifetime ago. But
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Anybody else want to share words or an image, or describe an image that describes the vibe or feeling of your brand? If not, that's cool. We can I can wrap it up and give you 10 minutes of your life back today.
I think this would be a great opportunity to transition into some open question and answering for people who have questions.
Yeah.
I really appreciate what you've shared so far. We have our clear why, we have our what, and then our how. We have this template to build our brand statement. I think the resources you provide and insight is really helpful. So I think it would be great to transition for the next 10 minutes or so to some kind of open questions for people who have questions about what they have going on. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great.
Rachel, I think I saw on your website that you offer some social media services as well. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so I really make a point of doing it all for my clients, if that's what they want. So yeah, I do social media services. I can, with your support, because I'm not a mental health professional, obviously, help you create your content and graphics to go along with it, schedule them, keep an eye on your audience and their engagement with you, monitor your messages, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, that is something that I offer.
Cool. Yeah, I was curious to know, since I'm a beginner with social media, what do you think for therapists, like particularly in this group? Do you have any recommendations about platforms that are good for reaching audiences that would be looking for therapy?
Well, it really always goes back to knowing your audience. So who is your audience? If they're younger, well, I'm inclined to just say that, you might be looking at Instagram and TikTok as opposed to Facebook and LinkedIn. If they're professionals, then maybe LinkedIn is the way to go. I think it really comes down to knowing your audience and where they hang out. Maybe they're not online at all. I don't know. I find that hard to believe, actually. But personally, I do not use TikTok, just because. But I think I'm on the cusp of a generational cutoff there. It took me a really long time to even be okay with Instagram. So, because I was, anyway. So. I would say, and I think you guys have already talked about your target audience a little bit in a previous call, right? Your ideal clients, right? Maybe it's not your target audience, but knowing them and where they are and where they're hanging out. As far as my strategy, I think what I always tell my clients is, having your information accessible in a variety of ways is always a good rule of thumb. So, if you're starting out and you're really not sure, maybe trying a variety until you get the hang of it and you see where your most of your engagement is coming from, and then you can kind of hone it in from there.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Lauren, you read my mind with those questions. That's exactly what I was thinking of. And maybe to kind of take it like next level. Like sometimes I feel like as therapists, especially if we're just kind of seeing clients, not like doing, bigger things, like it feels like a weird relationship with social media because we don't need to have like thousands and thousands of clients. We need just like a handful. So I always am kind of like weighing the cost benefit of like, the amount of time it takes to create content on social media. And is that, like how many followers does it take to get a phone call, right? So I don't know, like I kind of struggle with that too. Like, and that was why I was really reluctant to get back into Instagram and kind of thinking like, can I just parlay it into like connecting with other people and then I'm like tagged in it and then they see me rather than being a content creator. I don't know, like it's all like mind boggling once you start kind of like getting into it a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's, where all of this that we're talking about comes in to play, and why are you doing it, what it is that you're doing. As far as the time it takes to create content, I think, and this is like a whole other session really, but being very intentional about what you're posting and when and why. And I think doing it that way, you can batch create your content. I think people really get stressed out because they want to have so much and they think that it will take forever. But I think if you, I mean, what I normally tell clients who want to do that and are starting out, maybe dedicate 1 day a month, and you have, maybe a crank out 2 weekly posts. You know what I'm saying? The one thing I'll tell you that I tell everybody is less is more. I know you probably see people posting all the time, but do you really want to be the person who everybody's like, will they ever shut up? Like, do they actually do work? Like, what's up with this person? I think consistency of posting and value. Like, we all know that person who just never shuts up, like, probably isn't putting out much value. So I think that's my advice would be less is more. That's my philosophy when it comes to social media. If you post consistently and try, I mean, I always like to, people love having themes. People will begin looking forward to what you have to post. And you can tend to build a little bit of excitement about what you're going to talk about that way.
I think that was helpful.
I hereby give you permission to not feel like you have to post every day.
Thanks for that, Rachel. That's a big success. I really appreciate that. Like this concept, like, okay, you can post every week, or you can post once a month and have something very intentional and very clear and very thoughtful that will have more impact than the thousands of things that are of lesser impact. Yeah, that's definitely something I've struggled with. Like, feeling like, oh, Monday I got to do this, Tuesday I got to post this, Wednesday I got to post this, but it almost seems like maybe I need to take a step back from that and not be so focused on the consistency component, but figure out what is the clarity of message more.
Mm-hmm. And what are people responding to the most also, if you have been doing that, like, what are they really liking? What are they ignoring? All good practice is grounded in data. So if you have that data, you could go back and look like, my fishing post was really popular this week. Like, maybe I should talk more about fishing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great example. Yeah. Okay. Well, great. So let's kind of just wrap up our session here. And I just want to say thank you to all the new people who have joined: Patty, Carolyn, Kyla. It's so nice to have you here. And you're absolutely welcome to come back and invite more people. And yeah, just take a couple moments. Is there any last thoughts that people want to share, or reflections, or anything for this process, the group, or for Rachel that you want to share?
Just gratitude. Thank you guys both so much. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks to both of you and for everybody else for joining.
Yeah, you can tell you've done your work in your brand, which is thank you.
Thank you. I also like to thank Andrew because not only do I appreciate the opportunity to share what I know and do, but I was peeping you out, and I could tell that you have done a lot of work that you're doing to support the mental health professionals, and I just think it's amazing and awesome. I almost wish I was a mental health professional.
Well, you get your honorary degree.
All right. I think I found my niche, but maybe one day.
Right. Great. Well, again, I want to say thank you so much for attending. And I just want to give a reminder that we're going to take a couple weeks off at the beginning of July. And we'll meet back on July 19th, and we will have another special guest. I know, back-to-back special guests. We're going to have Dr. Luis Vargas, who is a marriage and family therapist who practices down in the Colorado Springs area, who has been a supervisor, a clinical trainer, and teacher at Regis for about 20 years of experience. So we're going to kind of explore what are different supervision models. You know, we can talk about our experience being supervisees, talk about what we're trying to do as we become supervisors ourselves, and kind of explore that process of our next level of development. So that's just a preview for what's coming up on July 19th. But again, I want to say thank you to Rachel. And Rachel, how do people get a hold of you?
Oh, well, I can drop it in the chat. My website is, it's kind of convoluted. nthDegreeDesigns.info. You can email me at Rachel@nthDegreeDesigns.info. I'll even put my phone number in there, but being as I'm a millennial, I'm going to screen my calls. If you might text me, that might be better. I'm gonna lie. Sometimes when the phone rings, it's somebody I don't even know. I start to feel panic. But that's how you get a hold of me, or on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. Not TikTok though. I'm not doing that. I'll do it for a client, but not for myself.
Well, good boundaries. I love that. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for your time and energy, and I'll send up a follow-up email here in the next day or so. And then again, look forward to seeing you all in the future. Thanks for stopping in. Nice to meet you all.
Yes, happy summer. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, thank you.
All right. Hey, that was so cool.